Good evening. Welcome to our 2011 Spring Concert. This is the final concert of the season, and we're so glad you chose to spend this beautiful spring evening with us. And we're very thankful, of course, that the weather is wonderful today. Our first piece was entitled Cenotaph. A cenotaph is a monument to someone or something that is not actually buried there. So there are different memorials, like the Washington Memorial, and they represent cenotaphs. And this piece, the opener for the concert today, Cenotaph, was meant to represent those. Obviously, it's a fanfare and a high-energy warm-up. The next piece that we're going to play for you is entitled Elegy for a Young American. Do something a little bit different. You'll notice in a few minutes the screen will begin to drop. We're going to project a slideshow image during this. The piece Elegy for a Young American was written by Ronald Presti in 1964, and it is about JFK. It's about President John F. Kennedy. It was written a year after his assassination, and you'll hear a lot of turmoil and angst in the piece, as well as the celebration of his life and his presidency and the legacy that he leaves with us today. I will disclaimer this, although it does contain primarily still images, it does also contain the footage of the motorcade in the middle. So just in case you think you might be disturbed by that when you see the video play, you might just want to turn your head and not watch that. But we felt it was important to go ahead and include that in this because it's so integral to his legacy. And so we hope you enjoy Elegy for a Young American.
Thank you.
While everybody is getting set again for the next piece, I want to introduce our third piece on the program. It is Galop. Though all the things on our program right now, I guess I didn't explain that at the beginning, are all by American composers, and some of them even about American topics like John F. Kennedy. This next piece is the only one that we stretched a little bit on. Galop was actually part of a light opera written by Offenbach, who studied at the Paris Conservatory, obviously not American. However, it contains what would later become the Marines' hymn. And you'll hear it in a statement made by the muted trumpets in the middle section, and you'll hear it again by the trombones, and you'll recognize and say, oh, hey, that's the Marine hymn. Well, it was actually part of this piece before it was ever written in as the Marine hymn. This piece was arranged by Colonel John Bourgeois, who happens to be the 25th conductor of the Marine Band. I was reading somewhere that his tenure as their conductor, or his career, spanned all the way to Clinton. I was trying to remember who the first person was. I don't remember. I have to look at my notes. I'm sorry. Spanned all the way to Clinton. And that's how we stretched this to make it fit into the American and also with the Marine hymn. So we hope you recognize and that you also enjoy Offenbach's Galop. This next piece is something that I decided about, probably 3 or 4 months ago that I wanted to program. And it relied very heavily on one student agreeing with my crazy idea. This piece is entitled Fantasia for Alto, Saxophone, and Band. And I approached Brad Fugere probably 3 months ago, handed him the music and said, what do you think? And he looked at me and he said, are you kidding? And I said, no, I'm not. I really want to do this. I really want to feature one of the seniors on this concert. And he said, all right. And since that moment, I think he's probably driven his parents absolutely nuts practicing. He's doing an outstanding job on this piece, and I'm really excited that we can program this on this concert. It's by Claude T. Smith. It's Fantasia for Alto, Saxophone, and Band. And it'll be performed today by Brad Fugere. who will be going to Henderson State University next year and majoring in music education. So much for coming tonight. It's been a wonderful year, and I am extremely privileged to be here at Benton High School, to be a part of a wonderful staff of band directors who do so much stuff behind the scenes. There's no way I could do my job without having the help of James Alto and Sherry Ellis and Andrew Swan and Stephanie Williams. Please give them a hand. I'm very blessed to work at a place where I'm friends with all my coworkers. It's a wonderful blessing. Thank you so much for sending your kids to school every day and for letting them hang out in my band room after school and letting them be a part of the marching band. Thank you for washing their clothes for marching band 5,000 times so that they're ready to go, and getting them where they need to be, and making sure they have their music and they have their concert black for tonight and they have everything they need. Thank you so much for letting me teach your students. Our final piece tonight is a complete deviation from the rest of the program. It's entitled Xerxes. It's written by a current composer named John Mackey, who's done a whole lot of works for different levels of band. He himself describes this as an angry concert march, and I think that you will hear that. You're going to hear some hard rock influences. It's set up in the format of a regular concert march. However, that's about where the similarities end. So we hope you enjoy our final piece for tonight, Xerxes by John Mackey. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next year.